Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening. This is our interview session with our notable interviewee, which is our notable leader, Mr. Muhammad Basil bin Taharin or Taha. Betul tak?
Taharan Taha gitu.
Taharin Taha. Okay, so let's meet our leader.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. First and foremost, it is a huge honor for me to be chosen as the notable leader. However, I don't feel like I was the right person for it. But then again, thank you very much for choosing me. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Basil bin Taharan Taha, and I'm 26 years old, and I'm originally from Wakaf Baru, Kelantan. Currently working as a IT freelancer and also a student in Management Science University College Kota Baru in Information Technology, and I'm currently doing my internship at the Land and District Office of Bachok, Kelantan. Will be finishing my internship on January, might be on the first week of January, but it hasn't been decided yet. So that's the general information about me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Basil, are you ready for your first question?
Sure.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your personal background and how it has influenced your career path?
So, for my personal background, it's going to be a bit interesting because originally I'm coming from a medical line of family, which is my mom and my dad is a doctor, both of them. My dad is a doctor, a surgeon, and also my mom is a dentist. And my elder sister is also a matron, which is the highest rank in nursing. And for my second sister is also a doctor. My third sibling, which is my eldest brother, is a medical officer in the army. So, and then my older brother, the one that above me, is also a doctor, currently working at SHOSEM. And yeah, basically my family is all in the medical line. But then it is actually interesting. For what I'm saying is just because I'm in a different prospect of area, which is in computer science department, which is IT. It's because I decided to choose for another path, which is more how to say that, more variety. I mean, like every single day in my family we'll be talking about patients and all that. So I was growing up with hearing all the stories, and then it felt boring for me, so I decided to choose for another path. But also, I was also used to be a student in medical department as well. I got into Marmara University in Istanbul, Turkey. I was doing bachelor in dental surgery, and that was also being sponsored by the Turkey government. But then again, I couldn't finish my studies there because actually it's a bit complicated story. To summarize it, I was being tricked by the scholarship of having different agreement. They were saying that I will be studying in 60% of Turkish and 40% in English. But then again, I was tricked. It was 100% in Turkish, and it was totally different with what they were agreeing in the agreement. So I decided I cannot continue my study there because of the difficulties, and I was the only foreigner from Asia country. So that's the thing. And yeah, if the Turkish language is also gonna be, if the Turkish language is so easy, I can just stay there and just endure all the difficulties. But then it's way different than English and also than Malay. So I couldn't continue my studies over there. But then again, I decided to stay in Turkey, working as a tour guide and opening my own company with my friend, tour agency, which is based in Terengganu. So we provide services for tourists to come to Turkey, and also we're going to be the tour leader and tour guide, bringing people around all over Turkey. We already have some packages. You can also search it with discoverturkey.com. That's the official website of our company. So yeah, I stayed there for about 4 years, and then I came back on COVID. Because of COVID, yeah, definitely cannot stay there anymore because it's going to be way hard for a foreigner to stay in a foreign country. So I decided just going back to my hometown, to my home country. It's going to be much better. Then yeah, I decided to recontinue my study, but in another department, in another prospect of studies, which is information technology, which I was very eager, I was very interested since I was little, because I used to play computers, I used to play the games a lot, and I also used to modify my own PCs back home, and yeah, that's why I was choosing this kind of department for my area of studies, and I think because of my childhood, that's been affecting me for choosing this department. I think that's all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Basil. I think that is a very, very interesting story for us. I think for the second question, who wants to ask?
So for the second question is about there any specific mentor or role model in your life who influence your style, your leadership style?
So, thank you again for the questions. So for my role model, I can say that I choose my own uncle, and his name is Professor Dr. Abdul Bukhari bin Haji Yusuf, which is my own youngest uncle on my mother's side. And what I've experienced now is the same as him. He also didn't get to finish his studies at the young age like me. Well, I'm 26 years old. I haven't finished my studies yet. But then again, there's no age for studies actually. So I chose him as a role model. I was looking forward to him, and now he's a professor doctor. He also pursued his study in forensic studies. So he got his PhD doctorate in forensic studies in University of Southampton, UK. And he's actually not Malaysian. He was actually a Thai citizen. It's actually very hard compared to Malaysian to further the studies there, because we are in the British. We had kind of like having like British American culture of learning English, something like that. But then in Thailand, it's a way different. They don't prioritize English. They just prioritize their own national language. And then, but then again, he endured his difficulties. Then he managed to get a sponsorship from University of Southampton, and then he got his doctorate. So I was looking forward for him. I was like, he's actually a really, really person that I was looking forward to. And now he's working back in Thailand already. He's working as a professor, he's teaching in University of Songkhla, and that was a very proud moment for me, because he also finished his studies at 35 years of age for his PhD, which is actually very, very late. Yeah, but then again, I'm saying there's no such thing as age limit for studies. You can always study in whatever age you are. So yeah, that's my role model, Professor Dr. Abdul Bukhari bin Haji Yusuf.
So your mentor must be very influential for you, right? So I think for the next question, who wants to ask? Okay.
All right. So now let's move on to your educational background. So basically, can you share some insights from your educational background that you believe have significantly contributed to your leadership skills?
So yeah, for my education background, that I believe that significantly contributed to my leadership skills, I am kind of person that is being open to all kind of level of people, wherever you are coming from, what levels of education. You are high school people, you are diploma students, you are degree students, master students. I don't degrade anyone, because knowledge is actually at every level. So what I'm learning now in IT is that you can be young and also you can be the leader. So, and you can also be old, but you can also be expert in this sort of technologies before. So my education background teach me that everyone's opinion and everyone's stand is actually important, and also you have to listen to every opinion, and there's something always you can get from it. And yeah, I think that's all that I can share for my education background that I believe have contributed in my leadership skills.
So basically, you talk about your success in your education background, right? So talking about your day-to-day life, so how do you apply that knowledge and skills that you gain from your education in your day-to-day leadership responsibilities?
So first and foremost, I would like to clarify, in IT, we don't have like we don't know we're going to face for every single day. There's gonna be some troubleshoot in this sector, some troubleshoot some area, some problems in this area. We got like hardware, we got like software, this and that, and then for coders, for coding, we got this kind of error, we got this kind of error. So it's not gonna be, you're not gonna know what's gonna happen to you. So for example, like every single day I'll be facing like different kind of problems. Now in what I'm facing in land and district office of Bachok, what I'm doing now is the internship there, as there will be always something wrong with the server, and then I will have to fix it. We'll have to troubleshoot it. I'm not gonna fix it, but then I will troubleshoot it because the computer is doing the work. But then I do have this kind of insights in my own mind, like there's gonna be something new that I'm gonna learn. So then that's what I'm applying in my daily life. Like there's always something that you learn today. So that's the thing. Okay.
So that's a very great point of view from you, and I think the next question from Fahana, right? Okay.
Thank you so much. So I have a question. So can you share some of your achievement in your field or any other area?
So yeah, for achievement, I do get a lot during my high school years, because I was a very, not I'm gonna say very smart student, but then I'm kind of like active student. So I finished my high school in Mara Junior Science College Tumpat, or in Malay we call it MRSM, but in English we call it MGSC. And then actually I wasn't a bright student, but then I was a very active one in co-curriculums. I used to play sports a lot. I used to be so busy in my weekdays, didn't even go to school, didn't even go to the classes, always joining this and that activities. So, and at the end of the high school year, I got the best curriculum students of the year, for my graduation day. And then, but then again, I couldn't get much for my academic. I just only got, we're using pointer grade system in MRSM, as for your information. So I just achieved around like 3.24, which is like second class high. So it's not the first class at 3.5 and above. So, but then again, it's actually a very considered as okay, because I wasn't even active. But then Alhamdulillah, I managed to get 8 A's and 1B in my SPM. I just got B plus in physics. So I can say that that's my biggest achievement, because I never even get any higher than 5 or 4 A's. Then in the real examination, it was like 8 A's and 1B. I was even shocked myself, like, wow, how did I do it? I don't even know. That was the thing. And then and the second achievement that I really proud of is that I managed to secure a scholarship from another country, which I just told you just now. It was a scholarship from the Turkey government. It considered as a very, very how to say this, is a low possibility of getting that, because there's going to be 5,000 candidates, then they only choose 25 people every year. And it's also going to be in 3 different levels, which is degree, masters, and also PhD. So we're competing with 5,000 among of us for only 25, and there's no specific people, like only 10 people will be chosen for degree. No, there'll be like 25 is everyone. So I can say that Alhamdulillah, I got my own success from that one, and it was a very hard of process. I had to go through like 3 different interviews and everything. And then being a Malaysian in Turkey, living there, is also an achievement for me, because there's not so many of us over there. It's just around like 125 of us all over Turkey, and Istanbul consisting of like 38 of them. So and especially boys or men, there were only like 8 or 10 of us. Living together, some of us live together and some of us live in a hostel. And I can say it's a really achievement for me because living in overseas by myself and in a very small community is helping me to go through my life. So that's the life experience stuff that I got over there. So that's an achievement also for me. That's it.
Alright, so you're talking about the achievement, and it's for me it's quite decent of you. So my question is that how do you measure your success, since you're talking about your high school, your scholarship, etc., etc. So how do you measure your success as a leader, and what indicators that you use to evaluate your own achievement?
As a level of success that I use to indicate that how my leadership is working. Usually I'll be looking at my group or my colleagues. If I was about to lead some group in a certain project, I'll be looking into some sort of prospect, which is, for example, like, do we achieve the goal? What are we doing actually? Are we going to achieve what we are heading to? And also, like, what's the team performance and satisfaction? It's not about me, just myself. It's about also my colleagues and also my teammates. I need to know them. Like, I need to know how do they feel when they're doing these kind of things, and what is the expertise in the area. And then, but the most important part is the communication skills. I really love when I'm looking at my colleagues or my teammates talk to each other and also communicate with each other, because that's gonna be. And also, I can say that I can be feeling glad even more if I saw my teammates got into the fight, because that's actually a bonding session over there. You can know your friend or your teammates when they are not in the same place as you, like in this decision. So you know what he's going to react, but then you have to handle it also. So that's actually a way of communication skill as well. And last but not least is just the personal and professional growth. What do we learn from this one, and what do we achieve? So, for example, like we are being assigned for a project that is going to be involving the committee. So, our social skills going to be much better after the project? So, I'll be looking forward for that aspect. And it's not just about me myself feeling good that I've done my part, but no. It's also about my own teammates as well. So that's the thing that I'll be looking if I lead some group to a certain project. So that's the thing.
Okay, so I have another question. So speaking of personal characteristic, so what do you believe are the key traits that have contributed to your success as a leader?
So as a key traits that, which one is it? The key traits that I believe that contributed to my success as a leader. For me, as a leader, there's a few characteristics that you must have in yourself. Which is, for the first one is adaptability. You gotta have to be much faster than other people. You have to adapt to the situation, what you are having, and also like you gotta have your integrity. You as a leader, you have not to be influenced by others. You have to put yourself in like the highest position, but also you have to put yourself in the same position as them. What are you going to feel whenever you are in the same shoes as them? So it's adaptability, integrity, and decisiveness for me is a very important part as well. And last but not least, I think it's humility. So being a leader is not that you are the highest in the hierarchy, no, but you are also part of the team. Some leaders, good leaders, they always ask for feedback. They always ask for the teammates, am I doing this right? Am I doing what can I improve more, and what actually I need to do to make you guys feel better. So some leaders, they feel very embarrassed to ask that, because it's actually putting one person to a lower level, because you're a leader actually, but then again you also humiliating yourself. But then again, it's actually a very turning point for some leaders so that they know that what they are doing is actually right or wrong. So that's the personal what is it? Personal characteristic that I believe that needs to be have in one certain leader. So okay.
Alright, since you mentioned about the personal characteristic, right, that you integrity, humility, and so on. So, can you share an instant of a challenging situation that you faced previously as a leader? And how do you use your personal characteristic that you mentioned just now help you to overcome the difficulties?
So the challenging situation that I face as a leader, I'm not gonna self-claim this, but then again, I can say that I'm actually the guy that always people will go to when in my current internship place. So there's a group of us for internship students, and then I'll be always the guy that people will ask this and that. And so, for example, like what happened last few weeks, it was about regarding one or two students that involved in skipping the work day. So instead of texting them and just be mad at them because they're not attending their workplace, I go to their house and then just ask what's wrong, if there's any like something that I can help. So I just go and try to help them, and that's actually a problem that what they're having is actually a problem that I can help. So I was really glad that I texted and also go to their place, and then yeah, it's actually a part of my empathy towards them, because we never know what other people are facing and having. So that's a very challenging one for me, because our supervisors were asking me, and then I didn't know what to tell him, and yeah, I just tell him that I'll be try to solve this problem in this week. So I just told him, and then yeah, everything works well, and alhamdulillah, our supervisors also feeling like okay, everything's solved. So thanks to you also. And then I said, okay, never mind, just go on with our internship life lah. And then that's all. I think that's the example of the challenges that I face nowadays as a leader. But then again, it's a self-claim that I'm a leader in the internship place. But speaking of the truth, yeah, I'm the guy that people go if there's any problem over there.
Thank you for sharing your perspective about how you how you face the challenges. So, and for my questions, and can you describe your decision making process and how you handle tough decisions as a leader? How do you handle it?
So, it's actually going to be different from some people to some people. So as my part, I first of all, when I become a leader and for a certain group, I will be always first and foremost identifying the decisions. What are we actually going to do? But before doing that, I have to gather information, and then I have to know what are the things that we need to know, and then also what are the things that we need to do if things didn't work. So it's identifying alternatives. And actually the last one is making the decisions, but after making the decision, we're not going to just leave at that way. So we're going to also reviewing and also evaluating of what the decision that we are doing is actually right or wrong. If it's wrong, then we can just twist it to the alternative. But the most important part is actually the learning from the experience that we are getting actually. So that's the step of decision making in my way of life lah. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think for the last question from Anis.
Okay, for the last question I have here is from your own experience, can you give us any advice in improving ourselves as a leader?
As from my experience, which is very very little, I can say that there's gonna be more people that more experienced than me in life and also in workplace and also in studies. But I can say that put humanity first in your value. Whenever you do, you become a leader. And then what the aspect of humanity is, you have to be a human first, which is human cannot survive without each other. And so we have to be good to someone, we have to be good to others, and then communicate to each other, and be firm as well to another human. We have to know what is ours and what is theirs. So we have to know the rights of ours and the right of theirs, but we cannot neglect their rights as well. And even though we wanted to implement our rights, we want to know that we want to just put our rights over there and on table there, but then people must know also. We must know also that their rights is also on the table. So we have to consider all those. So basically, we must put humanity at the most tallest point in our life. I can say that. And then it's just that what I'm seeing nowadays in my age of people, we are being lack of these humanity values. We are always getting busy with ourselves with the phones. I can say that to myself as well, because sometimes I was being distracted with the technologies and everything. But then again, humanity is actually, at the end of the day, humanity is actually there for me. I have to go back to the human. I have to go back to my friends, and I have to go back to my families and also groups, so that I can become a good person and also can become a good leader. So that's the thing that I want to say. Put humanity in yourself, in your life. Humanity value in your life. Put it as the top highest point. So that's all.
Okay, I think that's it from our interview session with Mr. Muhammad Basil bin Taharin. I think this is why we choose Mr. Muhammad Basil as our very notable leader, as you can hear him from the interview session that we just held. I think thank you so much for joining us. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.